But regardless of when it does end, I don't think there's very much of a dissonance in the understanding that NATO will need to be re-examined. And
Right.
even in their
100%.
own documentation that they have online, they talk about how it's evolved over time based upon different threats and about different geopolitical structures and about different um, ideologies that have moved from whether it's communism, whether it's the Russian threat or the Chinese threat, or whether it's this or that or the other, whether it's a recalibration of the terms that are already there and fine tuning them for the 21st century, whether it's having a better understanding as to how, when, what the protocols are, when member countries need to notify one another or have to have different relations, whatever those protocols are, but things will need to necessarily be re-examined.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that that's definite. I think that the one thing that will come out of this is out of everything that's going on right now, and you know, the funny thing is that you had at one point countries threatening to invoke the NATO self protection when Trump was talking about taking over Iceland, taking over Greenland,
Greenland, yeah, in
and like
January.
that we're gonna invoke the NATO, and I'm like, so wait, you're gonna do it for that, but you're not gonna do it for someone. And of course, that was all, you know. Anyway, I think that is something that is NATO is gonna be. I think that there's a firm need for it, but I think that we need to re-examine and sort of update it a little bit more to make it a little bit more clear. And and that's
And the differences between, when you think about the differences in just the political capital, the political makeup, the population makeup, the different priorities that are there from the countries, those original 12 at the end of World War II in the 1940s to where
to
we
now.
are now in 2026. At the end of World War II in the United Kingdom, I mean, obviously, Winston Churchill didn't see the end of the war as prime minister. He was replaced by uh, a prime minister, I think it was Attlee. That that country with their view of the worldview is very different from the worldview that is being expressed by 10 Downing Street now. Italy, which had gone from, being under Mussolini and then basically getting rid of him, having him executed, joining the Allies, and they were still very much a broken, divided country. Now Italy is a very different country after years of very different prime ministers and
Government.
different governments there, and they've shifted, and there's more shifting now. Um, for God's sake, Germany was on the brink of just nothingness, and now they've been restored
Back to the
to,
superpower.
right, to be this economic superpower. Sure, France, which had been, victorious on the field, helping the Allies do their thing, and you look at them now, their election results over the past 5-6 years, the way that things have gone, the reports you see, they look, and for the United States, there's so much division and there's so much, what's our goal? What's our focus? It's different than it was in 1949. So how this gets translated into a new NATO, I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see how it is, because Lou's exactly right. Even though it may be a little outdated and needs tweaking and refining, it's still an essential tool for North America, for Europe, for the world, really. And we hope that it doesn't, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Wait, come on. If we haven't learned anything from Lord of the Rings and and Game of Thrones, treaties that have been lasting for centuries can always come back and help you out in the end.
And
And I'll
that,
leave it
my
with that.
friends, is the best way to wrap this up. Bang.